Well, YouTubers, the time has come. I'm gonna have to put Allis down. On the ground, that is. Stay tuned. Yeah. So Captain 315 is here at Squirrel Acres. Been wanting to do this with Allis for a while. So here's the scoop. All right. We got fenders, we got parts laying all over the place. No sense of doing YouTube coverage of busting wheel lugs loose and removing brake pedals and linkage and stuff. Come on. I mean, that makes for crappy footage, and my footage is already crappy enough. So what we're doing here is we're going to lower this. Let me switch camera views and I'll show you exactly what's going on here. And you don't. So on these Allis tractors, this is all confirmed rumors and hearsay because I am obviously not an Allis expert. I've had this little bee here for, I don't know, 4 months, something like that. Having a ball on this thing. But they sit high. That's because they were a row crop tractor. Geez, I can't speak as per usual. Row crops, they could get in the beans and stuff, and they had big cultivators on them. And they needed them up high for the ground clearance so they weren't scraping over the crops and stuff. So anyhow, that's kind of gone by the wayside. There's not much need for a row crop tractor. This is not a $15,000 tractor if it was all restored. It's more like a $2,000 tractor. So we're having fun with it. You can actually unbolt these 4 bolts right here on these final drives. Put them, flip them from side to side, and you can flip those 180 degrees. That will put this thing on the ground, okay? Front axle, this one's the adjustable front axle, more of a later style. Real easy. Just cut them spindles off right there. We can get that down on the ground real easy. Here's the problem. If we put this thing down on the ground, they look freaking awesome. Does it look like a tractor anymore that's going to do its duties in the fields? No. You know, tractors are street legal. So my thought is, if I put this thing on the ground and it don't look like a tractor anymore, that's a good way to get in trouble. So we're gonna go half low with it. We're gonna leave these on the same side. We're gonna rotate these forward 90 degrees. And then we'll just chop the spindles up there to make it level. Allis made somebody can correct me, an Allis expert could correct me. I believe it was called a IB. And they also made one that was an Orchard Special, or maybe that's the same thing. And that's basically what Allis did from the factory. Correct me if I'm wrong, Allis guys. And it just makes for a shorter wheelbase. It'll put the tractor down, I think, like 9 or 10 inches. It'll be a lot easier to get on and off. It'll still look like a tractor. Pretty simple and straightforward, other than making brackets to put the 3-point and the lift and the seats and everything back on them. So here we go. Time to do some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah. It actually worked. You can actually slide this off of the studs, and then you would use a jack or sheer muscle if you think you're strong enough. I hope I am. And just rotate it on the axle. I wanted to go ahead and set the camera up in case we have an epic fail here, or I smash my foot or some fingers or something. So get 9 and 1 on the phone. Get ready to dial that second one. Tell you one thing, if this comes down on my foot, I won't have one. Hey, there's the axle. Oh boy. So after putting it in neutral and rocking the hub back and forth a little bit, she popped right together. There's your difference in ride height. So we made a mess. We got stuff blown apart all over the place out here. And there she is. It was actually quite straightforward. It's more just disassembling things. So the plan here, like the IB style, Allis guys, again, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe they would still have the standard seating location, which now would be beyond the rear tires. Kind of a neat look on all the old classic tractors. A lot of them sat behind the tires, but we're gonna sport this thing up a little, likely shorten the column, relocate the pedals forward, and put everything forward, and figure out how we're gonna make the 3-point and the hydraulics work. Welder and a cutter and some metal shouldn't be a big deal. She is definitely much lower. And if you look from here, damn, it's almost like kind of a gasser style or something. I don't know, like the thing ought to have, you know, it's got a straight axle in it. All it needs is some drag slicks, and I could like go around riding wheelies on it. Problem is, that's not the look I'm going for. Plus, that kind of looks like a Carolina squat. No, we're not Carolina squatting, including tractors. So that's going to have to change. We'll go ahead and snip those. We'll snip those high spindles down and drop her down to where she's level. Maybe even put just a touch of rake on it. But there she is, folks. Stay tuned. Hope you enjoyed.